So can you blame the Republicans for being just a little bit upset that the Democrats are trying to undo an election via a closed-door secretive process? Joining me right now, two of the Republicans that were there storming that hearing today, Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter and Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert. It's so good to see you both.
Good to see you, Trish.
I'll start with you, Representative Gohmert. What was the goal today? Do you feel like you got what you wanted?
Well, they stopped the testimony, and actually it had not even started. But, Trish, one of the things I was shocked to find out today, I didn't know before, I don't know if Buddy did, but we found out when we got into the SCIF, that's for a secure, contained area where information can be revealed that's classified. We found out today that at the beginning of every witness's testimony, Adam Schiff would say, now, let me tell you, as a witness, this is unclassified. And for heaven's sake, we thought the whole reason they were doing it in the SCIF that's so secured with officers and all that stuff was because it was classified. It's not classified. And I've heard a number of Democrats say today, look, you got to understand, it's like a grand jury. Garbage. I've handled grand juries. I've had called in grand juries. And let me tell you, every member of the grand jury gets to hear every bit of the testimony, and we don't like hearsay testimony. People going nuts about Taylor's testimony today. The guy was basing it on hearsay from a person who said he was actually just speculating. I mean, that's garbage. But all of us, the grand jury is not the best metaphor, but regardless, we all get to vote. We all need to hear every witness.
Representative Carter, there's been no real transparency in any of this. How does this get rectified right now? Is there a way to rectify it?
Well, at this point, I don't know how you rectify it, except to say that the Democrats have to open up the process. Listen, as I've said before, regardless if you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, regardless if you love Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump, you should be outraged by what is going on here. This is a total sham. The Democrats have never accepted the fact that Donald J. Trump is President of the United States. As a member of Congress, I have a right to waive on to any committee I want to. I did it earlier today. I waived onto a subcommittee that I'm not a member of, but I had an interest in this and I wanted to participate, and I did just that. But yet we can't even participate in something as important as impeaching a president.
Representative Gohmert, why are they so deliberately trying to keep you out?
Well, we found out, and that is that all they've got is hearsay based on speculative hearsay, and apparently Speaker Pelosi doesn't trust Chairman Nadler because the rule is, under the House rules that we've used for all these years, that if there's not a specific rule, you go by precedence. The precedent's very clear. Every impeachment goes through the Judiciary Committee. I'm on the Judiciary Committee. I should be hearing the impeachment testimony, but it's garbage. It's nothing. So they're violating the rules. And in fairness, Trish, they're the majority. They could take a vote. They could change the rules. They could vote to keep Buddy and I out altogether. But under the present rules, they're not following them. They're not having a vote to change them, so they ought to at least play by what we have.
Well, Representative Carter, what's at risk here? Really, I mean, for the country, for our government, for an institution that we've all had faith in previously and prided ourselves upon?
Well, I think there's a lot at risk. I will tell you, the people in America should be scared. They should be very scared. If they can do this to the President of the United States, they can do it to you. You need to be very scared about what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now.
Would you agree with that, Representative Gohmert?
Yes, I would. When you look at the 3+ years they have been trying to find a crime to wrap around the throat of President Trump, totally unsuccessful, it ought to offend every American that's not brain dead that they tried for 3 years and everything they tried turns out it was not a crime that Donald Trump had committed. And so that's why all of a sudden they're talking about a phone call just in the last couple of months with Ukraine. It is an outrage. It is un-American to say, here's somebody I want to find a crime and wrap it around their neck. And also, Trish, it comes 1 week after the FISA court declassified information that the FBI has been querying this massive NSA database 3.1 million times in 2017 alone. They're looking, not based on any crimes, the court made that clear, they're looking for crimes they can wrap around the neck of Americans. This is a very deep-seated problem, and it's something we need to do something about.
Congressman, it seems as though they wouldn't be able to get very far with any of this, even if they were to have a vote and have a formal impeachment inquiry. Even if they were actually to impeach the president in the House, it goes to the Senate, and you know, unlikely that they're going to be able to get any success there. So what is this really serving the purpose of? What do you think the goal is? Is this to try and damage the president for 2020? Is it trying to damage the Republican Party? And by the way, in that process, is it inadvertently really putting the country in danger and frankly the Oval Office, because hey, it's going to make it that much harder, I would think, right, to have any real conversations with world leaders?
I think the answer to that is yes to all of the above. There's no question about, they know they're not going to get anywhere with this. They know it's not going anywhere. Mitch McConnell has already said that, you know, the Senate's not going to impeach this president based on what we have seen. Now, granted, we have not seen the documents or heard from the testimony that we've not been allowed to see, but I can tell you, I read the report. First of all, I read the transcript. I read it twice. There is no quid pro quo. That document and that conversation flowed just like you would expect for it to flow. The sequence of conversation was just like you would expect. The whistleblower report, whoever it is, whoever that whistleblower may be, on the first page it says, I was not physically present at most of these events.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is, you know, look, in my business, right, as a reporter, you look for primary sources. You want to get somebody who was actually on the call in the room. You don't go with somebody who heard from somebody else, because that would be lousy reporting, and the idea that you're going to impeach a president over it or try and hang the hat on that is pretty scary stuff.
We need you in Congress, Trish.
We do.
Congressman Carter, Congressman Gohmert, good to see you both tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.